So I'm getting these two warning lights, brake and ABS, and then the skid control went off. So I've already done a scan, and it's saying I have the rear speed sensor left-hand circuit, and it's saying that there's foreign matter on top of the sensor itself. So let's take the back left tire off and see what that means. That's the speed sensor wire, and in a previous video I replaced this hub. So it's going to be interesting to find out if the replacement hub from AutoZone is garbage, because the speed sensor should not be doing this. It's actually built into a cover that's on the new hub. Of course, use your slide hammer to get the bearing off. Then rotate this, and you have to put a jeweler's screwdriver in there, pop that clip off. Now we're going to have to take this apart and see if the sensor is gummed up on the inside. That's what the error message says. So we're going to drive a screwdriver in between this lip right here gently and go all the way around it and get that off and look at the speed sensor. So I've worked the screwdriver all the way around it. Don't break off that. Now there's nothing on the speed sensor. There was water in here, and we just drove back through a monsoon from Florida. So there's no telling. So I'm going to go get the old bearing, which I still have, and put the speed sensor from it back on here, because this is probably a cheap China one from AutoZone. Hopefully that'll fix our error. So here's the original part that I took off in the other video, and I'm just going to take this off. I mean, that bearing doesn't even sound bad. I'm tempted to just put this bearing back on. I don't know what to do. So I removed that speed sensor, and there's white grease in the original, and the original actually has the Toyota part number on it. This one is just, I don't know, man, it's not marked or anything. Aftermarket junk. Let's see if this fixes our problem. And you got to make sure you put this up toward the top, and the top is the wider bolt holes, and this has to go like that. So we got the wider bolt holes, and we got this up toward the top. We're tapping this back on here. Looks sealed. Let's see if it works. Put your brake plate back on. Get your dust plate. Make sure it lines up with the screw holes. Yeah. And we're going to have to press that in there with the bolts. This goes to the top of the hole. I guess we're going to plug the wire in first, so we make sure it clicks. All right, I heard it click. We're going to get these 14mm bolts through here. Pull that too. I'm going to get all these tight and pull that plate. Well, pull the hub assembly into the plate. Already plugged my wire in, so I can make sure it clicked. Then make sure you torque it to the right torque, because if you put the wrong torque on it, it can damage some stuff. All right, the book says 66 foot-pounds for the hub assembly bolts. 4 of them. I just twisted my wrench. $66. I'll double check all of them. Got them. Okay, in my other video, I said you had to take off your caliper and your bracket. Well, this time, I mean, I just took off the bracket, left the caliper all connected. These are 25 foot-pounds of torque, and these are 42. So the caliper bracket is 42 foot-pounds, and the caliper itself is 25 foot-pounds. So we're going to tighten these to 42 foot-pounds in the back here. Get them lined up. But you can just slide this in, slide it back in your brake pads, and you don't have to take that caliper off. Now we'll just put the tire back on, take it for a drive, see if we get the error message. Okay, you tighten the lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds, and make sure you line up your valve stem with the hole in your hubcap. I've seen people not line that up, and yeah, it breaks stuff. So I did have to go back in with my scan tool. It's a Innova 3170 RS. It talks to Toyotas. It likes Toyotas. It'll tell you all kinds of stuff about your Toyota. So the error is gone. I don't know that I had to necessarily use a scan tool to erase it. I think it would have gone away after the first 3 times I started it. So hopefully that helps you out, and whatever you do, if you buy your parts from AutoZone, the bearing was still good. Had a 1-year warranty, but that was 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I'll go back and look at the video, see how long ago it was. So I checked that warranty on my app and my AutoZone app, and of course it was expired because it was only a 1-year warranty that I got. But I was able to keep the original part and use the sensor off of it, and made my error go away. So don't get rid of your old parts when you buy junk at AutoZone, because they could go bad and your sensor could go bad. So keep them and put them on. Hopefully this will help you guys. You guys have a blessed day.